Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I will create Espoo bus line number 163, which runs from Kauklahti, or the northern suburbs of Kauklahti, all the way to Suvisaaristo in the south. I already predicted last week that this will be a long, or I predicted in the last video that it will be a long video. I was mistaken, but this one for sure will be a long video because this line is much longer, much more stop intensive, and it also runs mainly through virgin ground. But because of my prediction, let's just get to it. We'll start from the same roundabout where the previous line ended, and we will create a stop called Kuninkaankartano Kungsgården. This roundabout also serves as this line's turning point, so well, that means that we will have to expand it a bit. I can actually create another turn over there and another. Oops, nope. And okay, that's the way. Then we'll just move that signal a bit over there and then add ordinary signals here. So basically no functions is a roundabout. Well done. After Kuninkaankartano, the line will stop at Turkistie, Pelsvägen. There is also another one-way. These are both one-way stops, and there is also another one-way stop in between. So I will skip that one-way stop and create these two instead. So Turkistie, Pelsvägen, it shall be. Oops. There we go. And then let's see. After Turkistie, we'll have a stop at a stop called Klippingi. Klippningen. And then we will stop at a stop called Hollannin Mylly, Hollandskvarnen, which is around here somewhere. Oops. And then it will connect with the existing network in here. It's foray with the existing network will be very short. So let's build it anyway, and then go back to the lines and create the line, and it's line number 163, like I said. Standard 3.5 euro fee will apply. And let's go. So stopping at Kuninkaankartano and starting from Kuninkaankartano. Turkistie, Klippinki, and Hollannin Mylly. Then we stop at Hansakallio, Riiantie, Puikkari, and Hansavalkaman Aukio. But then this nice little cooperation is over. And instead we will turn left in there and next stop at a stop called Hansavalkama. And that in Swedish is, of course, can you hear the drums? Hansahamnen. There we go. Now this track will make a fairly nasty turn over here because the game does not respect the boundaries of roads in real life. But there we go, there we have Hansavalkama. After that, it crosses the highway and stops at a stop called Åminnen Silta, Åminnebron. No, sorry, it crosses the railway. I'm not sure whether this place is an underpass or an overpass, but I will nevertheless create a bridge here. That's it. Let's go back to ground level then. And moving on. That was a pretty smooth bridge. And after that, it will then stop at Kurtinmalmi. Stop called Kurtmalmen. We'll probably need a bridge. Yes, that's quite right. Let's build a bridge then. And after Kurtmalmen, we will stop at Kurtinmäen Taival. Kurtbackasträckan. Kurtbackssträckan. sorry. But also, wait a second here. Kurtinmäki, Kurt Bakka. Well, let's create a stop because the line uses it to the other direction, and it's also used by another line running through here. So it's one part of the one side of the stop is on this side of the roundabout, the other side of the stop is on the other side of the roundabout. Okay. My keyboard refuses cooperation. Here we go. And after the Kurtinmäki stop, we'll then stop at Kurtinmäen taival, Kurtbacksträckan. Whoa. There we go. After Kurtbacksträckan, so this far we've gotten, and our next ports of call will be somewhere around the Kivenlahti metro station, I think. Oh no, they won't. This line will surprise you. Okay. Let's see then. Then we have Alustalaisen tie, Underhavandevejin. And that's in the roundabout here. Then we will stop at the Mustanlahden tie. That's over here, and it's called Muslaxvägen in Swedish. And Then after Mussenlahden tie, we'll have a stop at the Aarepuisto, Skattparken. After Aarepuisto, we will stop at Hemolantie. And that's Hemolavägen in Swedish. That's also one-way stop somewhere around this park over... Wait, what? Oh no, it's not. The stops are simply located very, very stupidly. Hemolantie, Hemolavägen. And after Hemolantie, the stop will be Saunalahden koulu, and that probably won't have a Swedish-speaking name as it's a Finnish-speaking school. That's quite right. Sorry. Yes. After that, we will be moving back to the already built roads. So we will move to the line editor for a while. And oops. Sorry about that. Yeah. We will create a connection between the existing route and this route, and then we'll go to the line editor and see where the line will take us after that. Or I already know where the line will take us after that, but you don't know it yet unless you use the line. So, well, yeah. I was supposed to say something stupid, luckily it didn't. So, Hansa Valkaman next. And then I will just add all of these stops which I've recently created. And then we will stop at Reelinkikatu. Is that so? That is so. After Reelinkikatu, we will once again go our own ways. Stop at a stop called Korkoon silta. Korkobron. No, it wasn't here, was it? It was over here. And after Korkonsilta, we will then stop at Tillinkuja, Tillisgrendin, and that one's over here. Right. Sorry about that. And after Tillinkuja, we will then stop at Hakkapeliitantie. We are now about halfway of this line. So Hakkapeliitantie. Wait. Okay, Hakkapeliitvejin is a one-way stop. Well, let's not care about that. Oops. So most of southern Espoo has now been bussified, and most of western Espoo has now actually been bussified too. Then we will stop at Tillintulli. If that's not called Tillistullen, I'm actually disappointed. It is exactly Tillistullen it is called. And let's see, after Tillistullen, we will then turn left. No, right. So this is where it will then take us. That's it, there we go. And time to build the blueprints again, because we have connected ourselves successfully with the network. The bus is in there, and it will then stop at Tilmalanti. Right. It will also stop at Kiviruukki, Tiilismäki and Ruukinsilta, which should be already created. And then it will turn left to Mininki, and such a turn does not exist here yet, so we're about to create it right now. There. Let's just put the signals elsewhere, shall we? It's a pretty long crossing. Let's also move these signals a bit. So that turn does exist now, and let's get back to lines and get Mininki. After Mininki, it stops at Espoonlahti. So it doesn't stop at Espoonlahden Portti, does it? No. Seems to be a one-way stop. Right, but okay, there is something I've forgotten. There is another Espoo stop. Okay, so if I don't delete the station, it will not create stupid things. I see. Okay, well, good to know that right now. But anyways, where was I? Oh, and by the way, there is no such stop as Lippulaiva library. So these platforms are part of Espoo. Yes, that's right. Good. Okay, let's build those blueprints and then take the bus to stop from here to there. And then it will also stop at the ordinary Lippulaiva stop. Then, after Espoonlahti and Lippulaiva, it will turn left towards Merikansantie. Then right to... Okay, so this is where the new line starts again. As you can see, it's a massively long line. And I can show you the final destination. It's over here somewhere, so there's quite a lot left to do. So the following stop then in here is, let me find it. Just a moment. Koulumäki Skolbacken, and it's right where this park here ends. Then we will stop at a stop called Kaskivuori. Svetiberget, which is somewhere over here, I guess. Yes. Then we will stop at the Soukka metro station, meaning that we will turn right in the roundabout and place the station in here. Then we'll stop at Soukankuja, Sökegrinden. And it's somewhere around here, I guess. After Soukankuja, we will then stop at a stop called Vesiniitty, Vattuengin. Sorry about that. Then we will stop at a place called Hanikka, which obviously doesn't have a Swedish-speaking name, and it's right over here somewhere. Yes, that's quite right. So, well, although the distance is still long, the amount of stops is heavily declining because they are much further away from each other than previously. So not that long to go anymore. Then we stop at Soukankalliot. Sökebergen, which is over here. Oops. After that, we will stop at Svinnonsalmi, Svinesund. And then we'll move on to the archipelago. Then we'll stop at Suinonkuja, Svinögränden. Then we stop at Kanavaniemi, Kanaludden, and that's in a place. Let's see. Yes, it's right over here. Well, guys, I told you this was going to be a long video. I'm starting to know my lines pretty well. Oops, 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 oops. And after Kanavaniemi, we will then have a stop at Skatantie, probably Skatavägen. That's absolutely correct. Then we will stop at the Reivikintie, Bredviksvägen. The following stop is called the Bosund. Let's see if I can make this line in less than 1 hour. Shall we? No, but I knew this was going to be a long operation, so it's just fine. I just opened a bottle of rum, which will allow me to create for the hours being. And yes, this is my way of relaxing, drinking, playing this game, and yapping stupid things to myself for you to listen in a couple of days. What a time to be alive. But what I am actually eagerly waiting for is the time when I get up to line 500 and something. Because that's where I was when my game crashed, previous save crashed, and that's when I will start creating lines which I have never created before, and I'm going to start exploring brand new territories. Then we'll stop at Sevasund. And Sevasund is where the road takes another turn, so this road will not reach the final island. If you want to go there, you hop off here. The following stop is Berge. There is a birdwatching tower right next to it. following stop is at Kylänlahdentie, Byviksvägen. Then the following stop is Suvisaaren-tie 79, Sommarevägen 79, and that's the final stop before the terminus. And then we have Ramsiontie, which is the terminus, and Ramsevägen, over there in the crossing. And, it's finished. That was a long one. That was a long one. Oh, it's not finished. I will of course have to create the line. But this I call an endeavor. Building a bus line to the very, very far corner of the Sommarö Islands. But yes, we have around 50 stops this one way. So it's going to be a line of almost, well, it's going to be a line of 100 stops. And this one is going to take a long time to operate. I will just have to check how often it runs. I don't think that this island is served that often. Almost there, almost there. But yeah, it's only 36 kilometers long, so it's not that long as a route itself. It's just very, very intensive. And there we are. 99 stops, finally at Turkistie. Then let's see how often it operates. It operates every half an hour, which is pretty nice because that allows me to buy a decent number of buses. Four buses will be enough to operate this line. That's great. That's absolutely great. Yes. There we are. Line built, line operational, buses running, and it's time to go and enjoy a new day with a new bus line. I will return tomorrow with a new video. Until then, bye!